Welcome to the episode that puts it out there. The Grim Reaper just may be black. I mean, because of the hoodies and stuff he likes to wear. Today, I give a grade on the PlayStation 3, and I also talk about Sony and the porn industry. So you guys may not know this. I used to manage a GameStop for about 6 years. I repaired cell phones for a while, so iPhone, anything out there for a while. And I bring that up because a young lady told me that I call myself the angry tech guy, but I never actually talk about any tech stuff, which is very true. So today, what I wanted to talk about is consoles, current generation consoles. I'm going to do another part on next gen consoles. And what I want to do is I want to grade them on innovation. I also want to grade them on their hardware and the software. So before I start, I want to explain PlayStation or Sony and the porn industry decide your formats. So when the original PlayStation came out, PlayStation decided to go with the CD format. And at that time, there were all sorts of different types of media out there. There were tapes, there were mini discs, laser discs, CDs. I mean, there were a whole host of ways that you can get music and other things out there available. Once the PlayStation comes out, about 6, maybe 8 months later, the industry shifts towards the CD format. Okay? So enter the PlayStation 2, and PlayStation 2 decides to go with the DVD format for media, which offered a much higher storage capacity. So DVDs are out. Remember, you could still get VHS at the time. Also, there were Laserdisc and other formats that were still available for your media. Now, once that happens, the porn industry decides to go with the DVD format as also to produce their media. Soon thereafter, the industry shifts to the DVD. So enters the PlayStation 3, and the PlayStation 3 goes with the Blu-ray format. Also, Microsoft is a competitor as well, and they decide to go with the HD DVD format. So they battled it out for about 1.5 years and enters the porn industry. And the porn industry casts the deciding vote and decides to go with the Blu-ray format and decides the media war. So those two are the ones that decide what media you're going to use in the future. So always pay attention to whatever the porn industry decides and whatever Sony decides. So as far as innovation is concerned, I'd have to go with a B+, maybe even an A- for the PlayStation 3. Because the PlayStation was very progressive thinking when it came to the technologies that they put into the PS3. The Bluetooth, of course, and that was before a lot of people had adopted that format as well. Blu-ray was another one that was put into it. They have a host of wireless access and wireless streaming technologies that are in the current generation PlayStation that are just now becoming popular. So PlayStation did a lot right when it came to the innovative technologies that they put into their console. Now, Sony had a lot of things that were more reactionary than innovative, such as the PlayStation Move, which was nearly an identical copy of what Nintendo had done, and the PlayStation Network, which was an evolution in how gaming has evolved, but Xbox did it so much better than PlayStation, and PlayStation had just a whole host of issues, hackings, the network being down. So it wasn't a great look, and it wasn't inventive. Excuse me. Now for software, and a lot of people probably aren't going to like this, I'm going to have to give the PlayStation a C. And it's not because of the variety of titles. That's not it at all. The problem for the PlayStation is the quality of the titles themselves. You know, PlayStation does have a ton of exclusive titles But those aren't the problems, not the ones that are solely developed on PlayStation. It's all the ones that are developed on multiple platforms. And you guys know what I'm talking about. Like games like Call of Duty, they always look and they play better on Xbox. I remember when Madden first came out, it ran at 30 frames per second on PlayStation 3, where it ran at 60 frames per second on Xbox. It took them almost 3 years before they got that cleared up. Even nowadays, it's less now because they've had more time with the hardware, but still to this day, first-party titles look amazing, whereas third-party developed titles normally just look okay. Now, as far as hardware goes, I love the hardware on PlayStation 3. I do. I think it was well designed. I think it looks the best. It's probably the best looking console out there right now. And I have to give the hardware itself an A. So not only is it a beautiful console, it's the most powerful console out there as well. You know, Sony elects to go with the 6-cell process. And I know a lot of people have computers at home or have purchased a computer, and you hear about how many cores a computer has. And I know numerically, the larger the number, you think the better the computer should be. But that's not true. It all depends on the application that is going to be used on the computer. So in this case, we're using games. So if the developer does not program to maximize the number of cores that the computer has, then the computer is not going to run at whatever its maximum efficiency is. So the 6 processors work as follows. So say someone gives me the task of cleaning up a house, and me by myself, it may take me a long time to do the one task by itself. So if I hire 5 other people to help me, so there's 6 of us to complete the one task, it's going to take me a much shorter time to complete the task. And that's basically what the computer does. It has a GPU, it sends the task off to the processors, and they split the job individually to help to finish it as fast as possible. So overall, I'd have to give the PlayStation 3 a B+. It's fairly innovative. It has solid hardware, decent software, but overall a great console. Thanks for watching, guys. This is part 1. Next one, part 2, will be the Wii. And if you guys have any comments, any questions, make sure you leave them down there. And as always, if you like, make sure you subscribe. Thanks a lot.